Welcome, everyone. Today we are tackling the beast that is long-form content. Whether you are writing a comprehensive blog post, an in-depth white paper, or a feature article, looking at a blank page can be intimidating. We will learn how to transform Claude from a simple chatbot into your dedicated writing coach, research assistant, and editor, using a structured, section-by-section approach. Let's get started. Let's begin by defining what we mean by long-form content. We are talking about any written piece over 1,000 words. Think detailed blog posts, white papers, or comprehensive reports. The biggest rookie mistake when using AI for long-form writing is the information dump, asking the AI to write the entire document in a single prompt. If you do this, you will likely get a generic, soulless wall of text. To get professional results, we need to treat Claude as a collaborator, not a vending machine. We do this by breaking the project down into manageable phases: ideation, outlining, drafting section by section, and finally, editing. Because modern AI models have massive memory context windows, they can remember your outline and tone requirements flawlessly as you work through each section over an extended session. Looking at this flowchart, you can see our collaboration roadmap. It starts with your human idea on the left, feeding into the AI collaboration hub. From there, we don't jump straight to the final output. We move sequentially through 3 distinct nodes: brainstorming and outlining, then sectional drafting, and finally multi-pass editing. Only after moving through this structured pipeline do we arrive at the final masterpiece. This pipeline guarantees quality and preserves your unique voice. Before we write, we must build the foundation. We call this the blueprint. Every engaging piece of long-form content follows a specific architecture: the hook, the journey, and the landing. The hook is your first 100 words. It must grab attention with a story, statistic, or bold claim. The journey represents your middle sections, breaking complex ideas into digestible chunks using subheadings and examples. Finally, the landing is your conclusion, summarizing takeaways and providing a clear call to action. When you start your project, your very first prompt to Claude should be to generate an outline using this exact blueprint framework. You can use the prompt template provided on the slide to force the AI to organize your scattered thoughts into a logical, highly readable structure. This hierarchical tree visually breaks down our blueprint. At the top, we have the overarching structure. It branches into our 3 main phases. Notice how the journey in the middle is further broken down into specific subheadings, each paired with evidence, an analogy, or an example. When we move to the drafting phase, we won't ask Claude to write the journey. We will ask it to draft subheading 1 as a standalone task. This keeps the AI highly focused. Now that we have an outline, we move to the drafting phase. The golden rule here is section-by-section drafting. Do not ask Claude to write the whole white paper. If you do, it will compress your brilliant 5-point outline into 5 shallow sentences. Instead, you guide the AI sequentially. You provide a prompt like, "Let's draft the introduction based on our outline. I want it to sound professional but conversational." Claude writes the intro. You read it, tweak it, and then say, "Perfect." Now, let's move to section 2. By isolating the generation to a few hundred words at a time, you force the AI to be thorough. It has the token space to expand on arguments, include rich examples, and truly flesh out the concepts without rushing to the conclusion. This sequence diagram maps the exact rhythm of a professional AI writing session. You, the human, initiate the sequence by requesting only section 1. Claude generates it. You review it, ensure it aligns with your vision, and then you initiate the request for section 2. The note at the bottom emphasizes that this is a continuous, controlled loop. You're the conductor, and Claude is the orchestra, playing exactly the measure you point to. One of the biggest fears writers have is losing their unique voice to the machine. That's why we use the voice preservation protocol. By default, language models often output a very safe, slightly bland, corporate tone. To fix this, you must establish a voice baseline. Before you start drafting, feed Claude a paragraph of something you wrote that you are really proud of. Tell Claude, "Analyze this sample of my writing. Notice how I use short sentences for impact and occasionally use pop culture metaphors." Adopt this exact voice for our session. As you draft, don't be afraid to course correct. Say, "Make this more conversational," or "Add some more energy here." And crucially, step 3 is the human polish. AI gets you 90% of the way there, but you must add those final human touches, your signature phrases, and quirks to make it truly yours. Let's trace the voice preservation protocol on this flowchart. We start at step 1, knowing your voice, which translates into providing a physical writing baseline to the AI. This flows into step 2, where we direct the collaboration using tone-specific prompts during the drafting phase. Finally, everything funnels into step 3, the final polish. This is where you inject your humanity. When these 3 steps are followed rigorously, the output in the green box is authentic, human-sounding content that resonates with your readers. Let's level up with the systematic iteration method. Amateurs expect perfection on the first try. Professionals know that great writing is rewritten. If you ask Claude to write a section, format it, inject statistics, use a witty tone, and optimize for SEO all at once, the instructions will conflict and the output will suffer. Instead, we build in layers. First pass, just get the ideas on the page. Second pass, tell Claude, make this more compelling and add some urgency. Third pass, now add a specific real-world example to the middle paragraph. Fourth pass, punch up the opening and closing sentences. By iterating systematically, you allow the model's neural network to focus entirely on optimizing one specific aspect of the text at a time. This is how you produce masterclass content. This state diagram illustrates the iterative layering process. We enter at pass 1, focusing purely on structure, getting ideas on paper. We then transition to pass 2, refining the tone to make it compelling. From there, we move to pass 3, injecting data and real-world proof as noted on the diagram. Finally, we reach pass 4, punching up the transitions before exiting. Each state represents a deliberate, focused prompt sent to the AI. Once your draft is fully assembled, it is time for the 3-pass editing system. Just as we drafted in layers, we must edit in layers. If you try to fix a misplaced comma while simultaneously moving entire paragraphs around, things get messy. So, we run 3 separate prompts. Pass 1 is for structure and flow. You ask Claude, review this entire draft. Is the information in a logical order? Do the transitions guide the reader smoothly? Once fixed, you move to pass 2, clarity and precision. Ask Claude to identify complex ideas that can be simplified and cut unnecessary buzzwords. Finally, pass 3 is the polish. Ask Claude to act as a meticulous proofreader, checking for typos and grammatical consistency. This system ensures your final white paper or article is structurally sound, highly readable, and error-free. Observe the flow of our editing system. The raw draft enters the first gate, structure and flow, where we fix macro issues. It then passes down to clarity and precision, where the AI helps us strip out jargon and fluff. The final gate is polish and proofread, catching the micro errors like typos and grammar. Only after passing through all 3 distinct editorial filters does the document emerge as publish-ready content. Let's look at a real-time use case. Imagine a writer who wants to publish a blog post about productivity. Productivity is incredibly generic. So, in step 1, they use collaborative brainstorming. They tell Claude their goal, and Claude suggests focusing on a specific pain point, digital notifications. They agree on a title, the 3-2-1 method for deep work. In step 2, they draft the hook. They ask Claude for a relatable scenario, resulting in a great opening about checking email 23 times before noon. In step 3, the journey, they don't just hit generate. They prompt Claude to write the 3-step, then the 2-step, pausing to inject their own personal stories into the AI's draft. Finally, step 4, they use Claude to craft a strong landing with a call to action. The outcome is phenomenal. The writer used AI for structural heavy lifting and ideation, but maintained total creative control over the narrative flow. This sequence diagram maps out the exact interaction of our real-world use case. It starts with the writer and Claude bouncing ideas back and forth until they nail the 3-2-1 method angle. Then, the writer initiates the drafting phase, but notice how it's step by step. They request the hook, then they request section 1 while explicitly injecting their own story into the prompt. The AI seamlessly integrates the human element, resulting in a truly collaborative workflow. To wrap up our session, remember that mastering long-form content with Claude is all about process over speed. If you abandon the one-shot information dump and adopt our collaborative pipeline, your writing will immediately stand out. Always start by cementing your blueprint, your hook, journey, and landing. Force yourself to draft section by section to ensure depth and eliminate hallucinations. And never skip the voice preservation protocol or your 3-pass editing system to ensure your final piece resonates with authentic human emotion. Your action item for this week is to take your next big writing project, outline it with Claude, and practice the sequential drafting method. Thank you so much for joining this training. I invite learners to like, subscribe, and visit quicktechie.com for premium certification prep, including Q&A banks, full ebooks, audiobooks, full-length training, and interview guides. Happy writing! Our final diagram is a mind map summarizing your path to long-form mastery. From the center route, you can see our 4 core pillars branching out. The blueprint, establishing your structure. Drafting, utilizing the section-by-section and iterative layering techniques. Voice, maintaining your authenticity through baselines and polish. And finally, editing, using our rigorous 3-pass system for structure, clarity, and proofreading. Keep this map in mind, and your content will be unstoppable.